Hello grade 9s. I know that there's a big delay at the beginning of my videos, so hopefully I have now officially filled enough time. So it's Monday, May 25th. We're going to check the date here. I'll write it up here. Monday, May 25th. Monday, May 25th. Perfect. Wow, that's already pretty sloppy. I just want to talk to you a little bit more about graphing and dealing with statistical information. So today I want to talk about three things, and they all have to do with calculation of average. And there's actually three different ways to do that. None of them are officially called average. Sometimes they're referred to as measures of central tendency. So central tendency. How do they measure the center of a data set? So it'll say in your notes a little bit about that. And I'm going to quickly go through the three pieces of information. So you may have heard of these. I'm going to do different colors, and hopefully that'll show up. The first one, I'll get pink. Let's see, that first one is mean. All right, so it's not about being, rude to your friends. Mean is actually about finding kind of the most conventional average that you might be familiar with. So let's take a quick look. Let's just pretend that the schools are going to reopen, but only a few of you are going to show up. And we want to calculate the average age in our classroom. So only 5 students come back. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's say 5 students come back, and their ages are either, you guys are in grade 9, so either 14 or 15. So let's just, I'm just going to put down a quick random data set. So let's just say there's a 14-year-old, another 14-year-old, another 14-year-old, a 15-year-old, and another 15-year-old. Okay, so those are the 5 students in our class, but let's add a couple more just for fun. So we're going to find the average age of everyone in the room. So hey, I would be in your room, so we'll put my age down. And you know what, our EA might be back, so we'll put her age down. I'm just going to say she's 36. I don't know if that's true. Maybe she's 36. And you know what, let's also say that Miss Stewart is in the room, and she's also 36. Who would have thought? Okay, so this is our data set. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. I'm gonna put this 8 people, just like that. Okay, so to find the mean with these 8 people, this is our data. Put a nice little box around it. So to find a mean with these 8 people, what do? We're trying to find the average. So the mean is equal to the sum of all of these. So we have to add all of these numbers up. Where's my calculator? I might have to switch to my phone. That's weird. I always have my calculator. Oh, here it is. Aha. Okay, so I'm just going to put sum of the values, I guess. And then we take that sum and we divide it by the number of people. Number of people. Perfect. So we know that it's going to be something divided by 8 people. So let's see. What's that sum going to be? 14 plus 14 plus 14 plus 15 plus 15 plus 26 plus 36 plus 36 equals 170. 170 over 8. Perfect. Now, So I'll just get that. Oops. I'll just write it in here, 170. You see, 170 divided by 8. We would say the average age of a person in our class is about 21.25. Now, is that a good answer? It depends. Now, do we necessarily know if Miss Stewart would be there? Do we know if Miss Woodfield would be back? Miss Goodman would be back. Should we include me in that data set? So that's where mean can be a little bit funny. If we have some of these really high outliers, if we have people with big information that doesn't really line up with the rest, it might be better to use maybe a different measure of central tendency, if that makes sense. So that's mean. It just calculates the average. This is the average age. Is the average. Whoops. Average age. Ooh, the birds are chirping. Let's look at another one. So here's another way to measure median. Doing orange, hopefully you can still see. So median is arguably a little bit easier to count or to find. It's literally just median is the middle value. I'm going to put a star when the values are arranged in order. So that's a very important part to remember. Very important to remember that has to be in order. So let's look again at our little data set up here. So I'm also going to circle it in orange, I guess. We can just use that same data. Okay, so the median value is the middle value when the values are arranged in order. So luckily for us, we've already got them arranged in order. But maybe I'll just do them one more time. So we have 14, 14, 14, 15, 15, 26, 36, 36. Okay, so to find the middle one, you put a finger on either side and start counting in. Look at that. So 15 and 15. If it landed in between, let's say this was 14 and this was 15, we'd do 14 and a half. But 15 and 15, this is our middle value right here. 15 is the median. So in your classroom, if we don't include me, or since we've already kind of disincluded me, that might give a better representation of how old the students are in the class, eliminating the old people, aka myself, as outliers. So that's something to think about. Food for thought. And then the third one, this is another funny one, because I'm going to get another different answer. So maybe I'll just quickly put, no, I'll just put this here. I'll make sure this is nice and underlined. I'll make sure this is nice and underlined. Make my notes nice and organized. Okay, and the last one. You might remember it's the 3 M's, so the third M is going to be in blue, and it is mode. That might be familiar to you as well. So this is one that some people have trouble remembering. Mode is the value that appears most often. Alright, so how do we remember mode? M-O, mode, most often. That's how a lot of folks remember that. Most often is spelled M-O. So, how do we calculate that again? That's another easy one. So we can look at our sample again. Let's look at this info. I'll just write it out again. 14, 14, 14, 15, 15, 26, 36, 36. So which one appears the most often? Well, there's two of these, one of these, two of these, and there's three of these. So 3 of these are most often. 14 is the mode. And hey, look at that, we've had some representation. So 15, if you're a 15-year-old, I included you. 14, if you're still 14. I remember being in that boat, being really young. So with that, there's a couple of questions. It's going to say 7E. I just haven't put that in yet. Go through it. 1, 2, 3. These ones are talking about median. Some of these are talking about median as well, a little bit about mean as well, and then near the bottom, a little bit about mode. We'll talk about mode as well. So yeah, so we'll leave it at that. Take a look at some of these. And other than that, have a good start of your week. Thanks. Okay. See you.